Billy, you here for, there's nothing on the
I was
agenda.
actually hoping to catch Greg before you started, but I didn't realize you started at 7 o'clock.
Oh, okay. I didn't know whether there was something that was expected to be on our agenda that didn't get put on or something. Okay, fine. Go ahead, Greg.
If I may, Bill?
Yes.
I guess I'd just like to comment on that article. That is the one that we, well, the majority of the board put on town meeting once, and it was handily defeated. I will not, I will actually ask to remove that article from the town meeting when we get to that point, because I cannot favor that. For the exact reasons that Mr. Valiakonis stated, this takes persons who are 65 and do have their 40 quarters in Social Security, and it forces them to go to Medicare, Medicaid. They do not have the option. They have to go there. And I just think, I understand the straits we're in with money, believe me, I do understand that, but I feel that these people are probably the least people that can make up, if, and I say if, that plan costs them anything. I know there was some loss of some benefits when it was proposed before, so I will not be in favor of that. I just wanted to
We may
make that
not,
comment.
we may not have the choice this time around,
If-
depending what the legislature does, Joe,
May not have the choice to do it.
of not putting them on it. That was one of the things the governor brought up, was that those employees that are eligible for Medicaid
Yeah.
need to be put on it. Now, it's not law at this point.
Right,
but
right,
it may
right,
be,
exactly.
yeah.
Well, I mean, if it's a law, it'd be a different story. But we're looking to push it, we're looking to put it in our town, which I understand it can be done. But, as you spoke of the governor making it a law, as I read in the transcript, if we do not, at some point meet the criteria of the GIC, et cetera, he's gonna penalize us. Well, I'd like to say, Mr. Governor, before you set mandates, tell us where we can get the money for them, to pay for them. Thank you.
Just in relation to the specific article, which I favored previously, and I'm still in, somewhat in favor of it, I'm just, someone else's email I responded to in relation to this issue. I'm getting concerned where if we're going to be switching the employees' benefits programs, particularly those that are retirees, who are paying more towards the health insurance right now than the regular employees, and also the prescription drug plans, which we're talking about changing, whereby these people will be putting more out of pocket.
You're better off than with the Medicaid.
They may be. I mean,
Oh, they will be.
Well, this
I know that for a fact.
Okay, but this is what we need to articulate, and I'd like to see some sort of cost comparison too as to the effects on employees. As we get into this discussion, I'd like to see some sort of cost analysis as to what is it really going to cost the employees in the way of dollars and cents and benefits.
I think that's fair. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right, so-
we went through that back
And
2006.
the other thing is maybe through the MMA you can find out how many communities already have this enacted. Curious. I don't recall what it was a couple of years, 2 or 3 years ago, how many are looked at it. But there's no doubt there's an awful lot of pressure on municipalities to buy into this program, because state employees do have to, retirees. And the governor, and again, I don't know how successful the governor is going to be with his legislative package and trying to force communities into the GIC or comparable plan, and in addition, this particular piece of legislation. So it's got a long road to go before it's enacted. So, but I think it's only fair that we get some answers to the questions so that we can get it out there as soon as possible to give it a proper hearing and evaluation. Thank you.
Any other comments? Greg, next.
Next is the, keep in mind the order of these articles is subject to change.
Right.
The library activity room revolving account that came from your discussion with the library director and trustees to reserve any monies that are collected from rental of that room for the benefit of maintenance, repairs, and other such improvements to the room that typically do not get funded. Next is a warrant article placeholder it's seeking additional funding for wastewater design and permitting, and this would be linked to any design that we may need to do as a result of these federal economic stimulus funds becoming available, that we may need to have some make-ready plans. This ensures that if that's the case, the town has an article to appropriate funds to complete some of the necessary bid documents that would be needed to put that out to bid.
Greg, of the $750,000 that we got from Lincoln Properties for the sole purpose of wastewater, various amounts of that have been spent for a number of different things, including some additional work for Weston and Sampson regarding looking for additional sites for wastewater disposal. Could you get us at some point, we're meeting next Monday, I believe, right?
Right.
The amount left in that account? And that would be less commitments, we've signed an agreement with Weston and Sampson for a certain amount of work, it may not all have been billed out at this point.
And my question is, appropriate money for wastewater design and permitting. This is not a separate account, right? This is just to appropriate money for that purpose? I mean, we already have money. But during the budget process,
Kind of why I'm asking about.
Yeah, we were talking to Mr. Hanlon, and we specifically asked, how far was it gonna take us, and was there a need to appropriate more money in order to get the project?
No, but I think I think what Greg was saying is, in the President's requests for projects that are shovel-ready. Right, there's a few pieces of the wastewater project in there. It couldn't be the whole thing, because it's not
Right.
shovel-ready, right? There's, design or whatever. So you're talking about permitting related to that?
That's it,
Okay.
that's it, and only
Right,
that.
so that's, in other words, this was to appropriate money if we knew there was funds coming in that we'd get for those projects that we've proposed.
But there may be funds left from the Lincoln Property Fund.
Well, that's why I asked the question as to how much was left, because I don't know where else the money's gonna come from, short of getting it from the federal
Well, and
government.
the thing is, there wouldn't be any need to appropriate, right? I mean,
Yeah.
But, yeah, I guess I was left with the impression, or we were left with the impression by Mr. Hanlon, that there was plenty of money to get us to whatever stage the stimulus, the first round of stimulus funds would get us to, but,
That's why, again, I've asked for count.
I'll give you an account.
Any more questions on that article? Next?
Next is rescission of a vote taken at the the October 2008 town meeting, the capital warrant article that provided for construction of a maintenance garage and accompanying septic system improvements for the Hillview Golf Course. This amount is unnecessary due to funds being previously appropriated. My recollection is either the 2005 or 2006 for the same purpose. Simply clears the books.
So in other words, they've already appropriated the money. Are we paying interest on that?
No, we haven't
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 even
borrowed.
borrowed.
No, we wouldn't borrow on it.
so this isn't taking the project off the board.
No, it's just taking away the authorization to borrow. There was previously authorization to borrow that was granted several years back, and this basically duplicates it, so it's just a matter of remedying the efforts.
Okay, next article, transfer funds from the ambulance enterprise account.
My understanding is, in speaking with the fire chief, there's a need to have computers and software placed in our ambulances. It allows for electronic trip ticketing, which is a requirement. The requested funds will be used specifically for the purposes of installing that required equipment within the ambulances. Couple of laptops, some software, all of it tying together, and
More than 20,000.
that's what the claim is, 20,000.
So it's the wireless internet connection and everything else, hardware, in addition to hardened laptops and physical mounting hardware and installation and everything. Yes.
Yeah, excuse me. I first want to say I'm totally in favor of doing this, but this goes back to my comment about 5 minutes ago where we're told this is to be in compliance with the state laws. Something that was passed, put on us, and it's not funded. But I am in favor of doing
So
it.
are you gonna ask the governor to send you a check for $20,000?
I certainly, I'll
'Cause I
send
think
them
I'd
a
like
letter
to,
tomorrow
too.
if you want me to.
We should call the state auditor's office, Division
Well,
of
that's
Local
what I'm saying.
Mandates, Division
I
of
mean,
Local Mandates, and see if
I'm
this
in
is something
favor
that
of
they should,
doing it,
should be
but
funded.
when they mandate it, they should fund it.
I'd like to read a copy of the mandate. Could you email me a copy of it, Greg?
Okay. Next. Next is the request by the Park and Recreation Commission providing for a turf field. You have information that was included in your packet through Rita Mullen, or I believe it was emailed to you
It was
individually.
emailed, and I think I forwarded it to everybody. Everybody get it?
Got
Did you
it.
get it? Mike? You're gonna find out what, this type of a project can be bonded for in years. I think
Mhm.
that's gonna weigh heavily on whether or not the Hillview Commission can fund it if they decide to.
Right, trying to fit 2 to 3
And the
million
other
dollars.
thing was, it appeared that, when I read the email, which is basically the document they're working to in terms of this project, that it's not 100% clear in there, associated with all the other costs in terms of moving the thing. I'd like to see actually a breakdown of the budget as to
They have,
how much money's been allocated for, the things that, additional mandates, like project management and,
they have three, I think 3 proposals, 3 or 4 proposals from architects and people who would be the overseers of this particular project and the proposal itself, which I happen to be able to see. So one of the turf committee members called me and said, "Can you come over and take a look at this stuff?" Which I did the other night. And it's pretty detailed as far as what the proposal is. Now, what they haven't done is they haven't awarded any outfit the right to pursue it now and go ahead. But they were all in the same ballpark, and they were all very experienced in relation to these types of projects, municipal and private combination, municipal-private projects. So I was actually heartened by the fact that they have some pretty good outfits bidding on the proposal to oversee it, who are pretty knowledgeable in the field, so to speak. So I think in short order, they're going to be able to provide us with substantially more information. I also suggested to some members of the committee that they get together with, again, the school department to ensure that this is really where we want it located, that it works. We want the secondary school building committee in relation to any proposed projects which they've been contemplating in relation to any renovation or replacement of the high school, and with this particular site have to be utilized for other purposes, whether it be building a new facility itself, or continue to operate the high school, or septic, or whatever the issues might arise, because they have looked at this site, obviously, football field area and the baseball field pretty extensively in relation to several proposals. So they're going to be meeting with